believe I'm live. Let's see. Okay. Am I live? Let's see. Yes, I am. Okay. Let's see. I'm just going to shoot out the link. All right, let's see. Welcome. Hello. Happy Thanksgiving, guys. Zane, what's up? Hope you guys did well this week. And reeling into their arguments. Lose money trading on the phones with. I don't know what he wants. Okay, so. Let's look at what happened here, and then we're going to talk about what to do about it. Yeah, Moonboy is definitely wrecked. Coin Bros, what's up, man? How you doing? Kalo, Ronnie. Yeah, I got, family coming by soon, but I figured I'd spend a little time with my crypto family as well. This is kind of a gut shot for a lot of people. KJ sent it to 0. Definitely here to kind of just talk it out and answer some questions and give my thoughts on what to do now. And also because this was something that we were actually watching live in the dojo, and we'll see. So let's see. This tweet. Yeah. So it looks like a lot of longs are about to get stopped out. This was at 5 o'clock yesterday. So that would be, let's see. We'll look at it on the 1 minute just so you can see where that was. And then I'll talk to you about why I made that tweet. Where can we buy proc? Let's see. Yeah, we did need a pullback. What's up, consulting guy? 25, 17. All right, so that was like right here. Right there. Okay. So pretty timely warning, in my opinion. Hopefully some of you got it. But the reason for that, and we'll do a little TA here, is these, I use multiple moving averages, but right now I have, this is the 60 and this is the 200, just regular moving average on the hour. Now, when you change candles and different, it's going to be in different places. But on the hourly, what I was seeing was that the 60 was acting it was being respected, and you can see right here. So starting from here, this was kind of the bottom of this move, which the 60 held as support, supported this move up here. We faked out below, then kind of like right in the middle there. But then as it starts to continue to break out, this is support, like right to the wick. So then in this little consolidation here, it's at resistance, right? So resistance, breaks above, and that leads to a bigger move. Still kind of like support here, support. Look at how the wicks are interacting with this moving average. And up until the last moment, so part of why I thought that this would be significant was, like I said, this 19,250 area was very, very significant. I basically said this is the level where if we can get acceptance above this, we're going to see a new all-time high like in days, like very quickly. You see it very quickly. But when you see this type of a move where you pump above and it gets rejected pretty hard and you start to go down, like that's not a great sign. So when you look at a higher resolution, like we weren't able to close above this line, okay? So that had me on my guard. People were feeling a little complacent, and then here, when you zoom in, this is at 60 MA, holding, it's support, and then as soon as you break below it, right, you get a nice little move here, and then it comes back as resistance. This is when you have to be really, really careful. And then, frankly, I thought the 200 might have held as support. That didn't happen either. So now we're below both the 60 and the 200 on the hourly. It's just on the hourly now. But if you look at the daily, this is where the 60 is. And it's been somewhat critical here. Similar to like what we were looking at before in that little consolidation. It looks very similar to what I was showing you before, where it's acting as resistance. You break above, makes a bigger move, does it again here, break above, you make a bigger move. This has been significant on the hourly as well as the daily. So this line right here, 14, like it's around 14K, especially if you're trading on leverage, you can't be so focused in on trying to catch something to the dollar, especially up here, because, you know, like we said, $100 isn't even 1%. So this is the top of last year, 2019 summer, the breakout, and this little bullish structure that developed below was a clear indication that we were going to test higher levels. As soon as it breaks above, we pump $5,000. So when you have a level that's extremely significant, price does have a memory, and that's why I put in this tweet. Let's see. This was 3 days ago. Probability that Bitcoin retests 14K before the end of the year is really high. It's clearly very bullish, but that level is too significant to not be revisited, in my opinion. The million-dollar question is, does it hit all-time high first? Because at that particular point, Bitcoin didn't look like it was showing any signs of bearishness at all. So once we make the failure to close above my line here, twice in a row on dailies, and then you have this shitty hourly rejection, that's my sign for bearishness. So, are we poor again? What do we do now? Quick long will make you money. Dead cat bounce. I think you could play. Yeah, I think you could play because this is still a bull market, guys. And if you look at what's happened in the past, like the fact that the volume is rising on this dump isn't a great sign, but when you look at what's happened in the past, in previous bull runs, these type of corrections do happen, right? Like here's one right here. So we went from 12 to 9,800, if I recall correctly. Yeah, 99. So, you know, that's over 20. That's like, how much is that? Almost 20%, not over. But, you know, you can make a correction like that and still remain bullish. Personally, I think I need to see what the daily close is like today. Before I really have a better idea of where we're going in the short term. Ultimately, I think we can definitely touch this line. This is an area where I'd be looking to play. You also have the 60-day MA here. This cluster was critical. This was like core positions were built for this run, and a lot of the people that bought in here probably sold up here. And now we're going to bring it back to that level. This is an area that they like to play. If you get it, I would definitely play that personally. So yes, let's see what else. There was one other thing. Yeah. So we'll talk about the Coinbase, thing, as well as I think it's relevant to discuss this, because in the past week, I saw so many people kind of got wrapped up in the institutional component of the pump, where people were saying, you know, the institutions are FOMOing, and it really reminds me of 2017-18, where people in crypto seem to believe that they're smarter than all the institutions, and now they're going to sell their bags to institutions. That's not really how it works. So my institutions, don't tell everybody their real plans, okay? If I had to guess, they loaded up by chopping retail to pieces in the red circle areas, as well as probably creating the bottom back in March. They're not building core positions up here. Still bullish, but stop it. So like these are the areas where they're buying, right? Then they mark it up. But price action like this that exists for months at a time, where you're in a range for a month or 2 months or longer, That is somebody cornering the market. Now, they could also be cornering the market on shorts. It doesn't mean that it's going to break bullish. You need more data points to decide what's going to happen. But typically when you get price action like this, whichever direction it comes out of it is ultimately the direction that the trend is going to continue in. So, when this, and we could, if you go back to the show from when this broke out, I mean, I told you guys, this was when Twitter was hacked. They hacked Biden and Elon Musk and all these people, and people thought that with the Bitcoin scam, and people thought Bitcoin was going to dump to like 7K from that, and it went down like a couple $100. That was like really your golden entry. And I think I was on stream with a smart contractor, good dude, shout out to him, and said, listen, this is the time to buy, because if this breaks out to the upside, we're gonna see, like, it's gonna be a crazy run, because when you have all this pent up chop, this basically kills everybody in the market, and now nobody has Bitcoin after this, only the institutions or the large players, and then you're constantly chasing it. So we see a lot of discussion as far as institutions are buying, and try to phase that shit out and just focus on the price action itself. The levels will tell you, like, we could look here. So these are just on dailies, but this line here, we make a bull flag here, it breaks out above, you get 14K. 14K is going to obviously be significant because of what I showed you before, last year, June 2019, top. We go above that line, then you go up into this box. Break through this box, the next step is this line. Like, just take it line by line. So now that we've broken through these, if we're not able to hold this line, 14 is most likely the outcome. Yeah, it was like 2017 all over again. Everybody started to believe the whole notion that the funds have uncontrollable FOMO. They don't. No, I don't think so. I mean, there might be some shitty funds that do, but the real players in the market had already, and they're not going to buy the top. They understand that somebody has built a core position and looking for someone to sell onto, and it's not, if you're savvy, you wouldn't do that. 12.5K weekly, 20 MA, not that significant. Considering last bull run, it was critical support. Let's see. The weekly. Let's look at it. I don't want to show you my moving averages. I don't know. I'll check it out later. I'm mostly a hodler, and Cardano has been good to me. Feel like full FOMO wasn't even close on this last run up to 19K-ish. In 2017, you couldn't go 30 feet without hearing about Bitcoin. That hasn't happened yet. Yeah, I mean, I don't think that we're going to now enter a bear market, but we can cool off a bit. It can cool off a bit. It can do something like this, where it's gonna spend 2 months, doing something like this, where it bounce up, go here, go a little below, here, bounce up, test one more time. We can spend this. This would bring us to like late January if something like that were to occur. But I've been saying that when Bitcoin is up here above this line and in between here, if it gets above here, you just have to go with it, because it's going to enter a new price discovery and go completely parabolic. But when it's up here, your R is not on it's not Bitcoin anymore. It's like you want to play alts up here. So that's why I was saying, like, take profit on Bitcoin and start to take some aggressive plays on alts. And sure enough, like, alts were definitely the play. You have stuff like Ripple going off, and Stellar Lumens does 70% in a day. That's like a $5 billion market cap coin. For these large caps to pump against Bitcoin that strongly should be telling you something. That's significant. It's not like some micro cap shitcoin pump. That's a serious move. So, definitely I feel like some of the players within the market were preparing and starting to get into altcoins. And that also can kind of tell you that Bitcoin might be close to topping when you see those type of moves happening. So, Let's look at BTC Dominance. I haven't checked it out in the last day or so. So let's see. What does this look like? So this isn't great. It is doing a bear flag, but it's bouncing. You don't love to see dominance rise as Bitcoin dumps, but that is something that does tend to happen, especially when there's some decent fear in the market. Morning, Steve. When do you think alts will shine again? Well, where is this? So this is November 19th. When did I do the video? So what date was this? November 14th. So I was a little bit early. Where was I? Here? Yeah. So dominance rose, but the past 1, 2, 3, 4, the past like week, really, altcoins have been shining. Dominance dropped from 67.4 to 60. That's like a 10% drop in dominance. It's huge. So, you know, it's definitely notable. Let's zoom out a little bit. We need to, obviously, if it goes below 60, it's going to be crazy alt season 2017 style. So, like, that's really kind of the level you want to be looking for. This level here, 71, 70, you break above 70, 71. That's also kind of your cue to go heavy into alts versus BTC. Let's see. So, I think, personally, like, when I think about BTC, This area, I think, is going to happen. Ultimately, I think it will happen. So, if it does, that would kind of be, it wouldn't, I don't think it would just reverse, like if it goes down here, it's not going to just do this, okay? I mean, it could, but it's not likely, because this much volume, that violent of a move, now, whenever you have a big move, you normally need to do some of this, like this. So if we were to get this, and then it does this chop sideways here, like that would be a great time to be playing alts, in my opinion. So I would look out for that. Right now we're close, like we're pretty close. Honestly, you could play alts today. I think you could. It'll take time. It'll take time to resolve itself. So, like, let's see. Let's see. So, like this one, I think the bottom's in, but this can do like a nasty move and stop run everybody here. That can happen. It can definitely do that. But when you buy something like around here, you're probably not buying the top. You know what I'm saying? Like, personally, I mean, you wanna definitely exercise risk management, but I think this is still a good time to take risk on alts. I think even today is a good day to take some risk, depending on the alt. But you know, you could do a little bit better, but I'm not sure how sophisticated. You know, everybody's at different levels. You want to be as precise as possible, of course. Like, there's no need to buy something that's going to be down 10% the next day. So, you know, you want to be precise, but at the same time, you don't want to get too cute. And you also have to factor in, some of you are playing futures with leverage. So it's a different kind of game. But I'm more of a proponent, if you're going to play leverage, like lower leverage, but, you know, kind of really building alt positions here and giving them some room, like not crazy room, but you got to give them enough room where like a little 5-10% move or even 15 is not going to take you out. And the only way you could do that is by like proper position sizing management. Like if you're all in and your entire portfolio is in on one coin, then you don't want to take a 10% hit. or 20% hit. You have to play that very differently. But my guess is if you're the type of person that's going to do that, then you're not really exercising risk management to begin with. So you're pretty much just in that hodl for life mode, which I don't recommend. But how's RSR? It's still good to sell off alts now. Yeah, no, I don't think selling off alts now is a great idea. Let's look at RSR. Okay. I'll look at it on Huobi because it has more price history. So I really wanted this line to hold, potentially this one really, but you could get this bounce here. It could happen. I can't say that it won't, but it gave a good reaction. Stop running 100 down here. This is good support. I would say that if this level is breached, you're definitely getting this level, like definitely. So be mindful of that. But right now, it would not be the time to sell, in my opinion. It would not. So it's a good looking hourly there. You want this to structure out and recapture this line. Mr. Kobayashi, how are you doing, man? I'm good. Everything good. Is Ocean the next coin on the good, bad, and the pumpy series? No, it's not. Guillermo, KJ, I'm getting paid tomorrow. Any specific suggestions on what to invest in? Well, you know I'm really, if you've watched the previous video, you know I'm very bullish on this one. When you look at where it is, like if you want to invest in something, like this, I can assure you is not the top, right? Looking at, if you just have to zoom out and like use logic. So either this is going to go down here and be completely worthless, or this will bounce and recover out of this area. So you have to decide for yourself and do research and decide, do you think this project is something that could actually end up reversing and finding some success within this market? I've done my own research and I feel pretty strongly about it, but I think if you're like looking to get in something and hold on for a few months, like you could do worse than entering this here. This looks pretty good to me. H bar. Let's look at Rose. Will Thanksgiving affect crypto somehow? Well, I don't think it was Thanksgiving. I think it had something to do with Brian Armstrong, the CEO of Coinbase, coming out and insinuating that there was a rumor in regards to like privacy on wallets, where they were gonna basically require you to KYC any withdrawals. But that was not confirmed. I mean, I agree with him. It would be shitty, but it definitely, I think, created some fear, and you saw a lot of people on Coinbase selling. The selling was happening on Coinbase itself. So, that seems to be the narrative for the sell-off. But, as I say, like, the TA is going to tell you, like, I didn't need to know that. When I saw this candle, I knew. And when I saw these moving averages become resistance, I knew this shit was bad, bottom line. Like, I didn't really care about what he had to say. And then, lo and behold, we look at AGGR and you see that Coinbase there's like fucking whales on there selling off crazy. So, you put two and two together, okay. But it's kind of crazy how that works. Like the FA and the TA, they always line up, So like someone that knows how to chart and is a good analyst will be able to see things, and then shortly after, like basically when I say like a lot of longs are about to get stopped out, that's me say, hey, be careful because this is bearish. And sure enough, then you get the dump, and it's like, all right, now people are looking for a reason to explain why that happened. It was all in the TA, guys. It was all in the TA. CME gap, come on. How did I know KSM was going to pump based off of it? Looking at it. Well, I never know. I make educated guesses. And that's the best I can do, is basically look at something and decide what the probability is, and then assess what's our risk to reward. So for me, part of the reason why I make that trade call is the environment was right. So alts were performing on that day. So it made sense to make the call. So I was looking for laggards, coins that hadn't performed as well as some of the others that were showing bullish setups. And we were in here, this type of move at the bottom, where it goes up and everybody's, oh, it's going to break out. And then it goes down and everybody goes, this thing is a piece of fucking shit. Fuck this coin. I'm out. I should have bought Ripple. Fuck you. And then the next thing you know, here it goes. Like, that's the emotion that this price action creates. So this is a daily. So people and it did it twice. So here you have this one. This was the candle where people really kind of creamed their pants. Like, holy shit, it's happening. It's happening. And then, no, it's not. And makes a lower low, right? Then it starts to grind up. Okay, we got some hope. And then, so right here, around, like, when it bounces off of here, this is when I call it. So what date was that? Shit. Yeah. 11/22. Okay. So 11/22. Yeah. 2165. I have no idea what this is, but it looks bouncy off this level. See, here it is. It bounces. Now that it's already done that move twice, and you have alts performing now. That's why I make the call. 2800 is kind of like neckline level right here. So this is, and you have this wick. So I don't know where that, yeah. So it's about, 27, 28 in that range. So that's like the first logical target. Now it pumped, went right to 2850-ish, rejects, but holds on. And now it's crossing above. So, I mean, this is pretty bullish looking. You want to see more volume come in. I wouldn't say you definitely want to play right now this second, but that's kind of like how I made that call. What? My pleasure, Elizabeth. Thanks for watching. What are your thoughts on jumping in on ETH at this point? Let's look. Ethereum. Well, Ethereum versus BTC. This is keep doing that. This doesn't look great. It doesn't look great. You're probably going to get a lower low here. I mean, this is like your key level. But structurally, this is that, hey, it's happening, and then this needs to make people upset. So these MAs, how well respected are they? This guy's been pretty consistent. Definitely don't want to close below this level on this. If this is starting to go down, then I think like a move in between here and here is definitely, it could definitely happen. What is a good time to enter Cardano? It's never a good time. No, just kidding. There's a lot of Cardano stands around, you know? I didn't realize they still had that much support. Similar to ETH, this is one of those things where, you know, kind of like ETH also, you might want to buy it higher. It's a little bit safer to watch this. Like if this were to break back above here, and, you know, curves down, retest that, and then starts to do this, like right here is like where you buy. Really. And like it could go below and then do this and then go above and then you buy here. But This looks like it's still got some downside potentially. But that being said, I'm looking at daily candles, and these candles are not closed yet. We still got 6 hours. So this can do something that would change my opinion of it in the next 6 hours. But up until now, it doesn't look too good. This is a hard rejection. 1,000 sats is a big psychological barrier. When you get a big rejection off a key level, then that would imply that the price is going to head in the other direction and then start to seek out another key level. And we're below some of the more significant moving averages. I'm not saying it's going to go to 500 or anything like that, but I don't know. It did make a pretty strong move. Like, it's already retraced 30% from here. So, if you caught that, good on you. But now at this point, it's kind of like in a no trade zone. If it recaptures this level, like 850, more so, I mean, this is one of those ones where now, if you didn't catch this or this, like this move here, you could have caught that. Then you I think it's safer to wait for it to go up a little bit, in my opinion. Yeah, I use Adam. I do use leverage. Yeah, absolutely. Not always, not on everything, but yes. Mo, thought it was a nice cause. Thought it was nice because I sold LTC at 90 and bought back at 80. Yeah, this is something that I've caught. I've actually hurt myself doing, where you make a great trade and you sell the top, right? In essence, the top. And instead of like just being happy with that, and it ends up being the top, it starts to dip. You're like, oh shit, now I can buy the bottom again. And more often than not, like, you end up fucking yourself when you do that. Like, a lot of the times, if you think you've got the top and price behaves in a way that would indicate that it could potentially be the top, when you get out, like, don't be in such a rush to get back in. That's what I have to say, because you end up like, you make a great trade and then you fuck up trying to knife catch the retrace, and then it takes off without you. But by then you've already damaged yourself significantly and perhaps given back the wins that you made on the way up. And that could be extremely psychologically harming. So, like, don't try not to do that. Like, when you make a trade, step away a little bit, look at a different asset, mark off levels on a high time frame that makes sense to you. Like, for instance, for me, BTC, like 14K makes a ton of sense to me on a high time frame. That level makes sense to me. It may take months to happen. Who knows? Maybe it never happens. I doubt it. I'm fairly certain. Like, if I had to bet, like a high stakes bet that we'll see that price again at some time in the next year, 6 months, like, I would take that bet 100% of the time. It's most likely gonna happen. So you mark off these levels on a high time frame that make sense, and then when they get there, you reassess and say, does it still make sense to play long here, or is this now, does it go below your level and then now your level's resistance and now that's bearish? That could happen too. But when you make a nice trade, don't be so quick to give it back and think that you're going to always be right on the money every single time. Any risk management for leverage trades? I tend to get stopped out a lot. Use probably, well, if you're getting stopped out a lot, you need to journal, right? What I do is I create a Discord server just for myself, and every time I take a trade, I do a screenshot of what the chart looks like, what I'm thinking, and then I save it there, and then I chart the result. And I found that I was being stopped out a lot as well, but then I realized that, my stops would have been great entries, because ultimately I was right about the direction of the trade. I just was not patient enough, or entering in an area where most people thought was a smart area to enter. And then when you do that, then you get stopped. Like, you really want to be buying people's stops. You don't want to be getting stopped out with everybody. So, kind of look back at the trades where now if you find that you're getting stopped out and then you're just wrong and the fucking thing is just nuking through and you're just completely wrong about the direction, then that's something different. But if you find that you're getting stopped out and then you're right, that would mean that you're probably a little impatient, and either impatient or you're using too much position size and not giving yourself enough room. But try to modify like that approach a little bit, and you could tweak it, because if that's the case, then you're not far away from being successful. Yeah. You want to get another look at H bar. Okay. Yeah, so these are, oh, why do I keep doing that? These are the levels, right? We want to break above this line. We want it to start looking good. We start getting in here. This is like your safest, really. Like if you get a price action like that and this level holds like 250, that's pretty good. But you know, I think you can play this level. I like it. I like it, and it's something that I'm taking more of a swing trade approach on. Might take a few months. This this is Chris's indicator called Market Hammer Trend Finder. It's very useful. He could explain what it does better than I can, to be honest. But this has it's like 6-8 different indicators packed into one. It's fucking awesome. I don't know why it works, but it does. My call is right, but I get stopped out. I just feel like my TA is off when analyzing when to get in. Right, yeah, you're off. And you need to look back and think about why you're off and make notes so that in the future you don't do the same thing over and over again. There's a reason why. You're probably doing the same thing over and over again. So only you can figure out what that is, and the only way you can do it is by chronicling that, taking notes, looking at it, and you will always find a pattern. Human beings are they repeat behavior and habits very often, and most people keep making the same mistake over and over in life. You ever have a friend, it's like he keeps falling in love with the first girl he sees, and he's like, oh, I'm dating this new girl, and you could tell, like, look at this fucking guy. He's head over heels in love. You just met the girl, and then the next thing you know, he's like whining about it. Oh, it didn't work out. And then he goes single for a year, and then he finds some other girl, and he's like smothering the shit out of her, and then she leaves him. Like, people have these different habits, and you're like, dude, like, maybe stop doing the same shit that you keep doing over and over. That's putting you in this situation. And, trading is no different. There's something that you're doing over and over again that's causing you to get stopped out, even though you're right. And if you sit back and look at it, like, very clearly, and take notes and learn from it, and you stop doing that thing that's fucking you up, then you're going to have, infinitely more success in the trading game. So definitely I would advise you to really kind of dig deep into why that keeps happening to you. But what I can say is it's not uncommon. It used to happen to me all the time. So, I started to look structurally. There was specific setups that I kept entering, and then I noticed something about the setup. You'll learn a lot, trust me. It's very important. And these are things we talk about in the dojo all the time. There are setups that I learned from my own journal where I'm like, fuck, like that's the one that keeps getting me. So then instead of getting got by it, I capitalize on it. I play it. It's one of my favorite setups to play, to be honest. So the one that was hurting me the most ends up being like my favorite now, because now I see it and I'm like, okay, that back in the day I would have got by that. Now, okay, all right, I'm going to watch this guy get got and I'm going to buy his stops. Like, that's how it works. What is the possibility that BTC can retrace to 40K in short term? I think it's very possible. I mean, I just said that. Right, or maybe you just tuned in, but yeah, I think it's possible. It's definitely possible. I'll be able to tell you how likely it is a little, depending on what this daily closes like. I need to see a little bit more, but it might take some time. But if you get if this daily closes real ugly, it might be accelerating its move there. Like, that might have a magnet on it and pulling it to that level. Or it might take longer. So Any thoughts on Ocean? I don't really have too many thoughts on it. I don't know much about it. Somebody wanted to see Rose. I got sidetracked. This is basically like a very large, well, not very large. This is a, because that's the hourly, but this is doing that move where it kicks people out again. So let's look at it on a different resolution. Had a bull flag here. Started to break out. That's making another flag, right? Starting to get above it. God damn it. Why is it doing that? I don't have Baghdad on. Ah, shit. So that's what it looks like on the 4 hour. It might be up to something here. It might. It might. This is a good reaction. This is a good reaction. You want to hold this level. You could participate. I mean, it's possible. I mean, you could play 200. You could play 200 here. This is kind of like this Adam and Eve type thing here. This MA, it's not been ultra significant, so I don't know, but you had the wick here, like I think crossing, like if you start to get above like 215 or so, that would imply some more upside. It could be. Could be. Doesn't look too bad, actually. Not bad. Not bad at all. How do you split up your portfolio to blah, 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 and possibly fiat for dips? You would definitely it depends on the climate of the market. So as BTC gets closer to its all-time high, and when it gets to my like top level, I literally said like there is no other level. It's either this or all-time high in price discovery. When it gets to level like that, then that's when you want to be heavier in USD. So balancing your portfolio allocation, there's an art to that. I mean, there's no one single cookie cutter way to go about it, but I would say it needs to be fluid and something that some people could just keep the same allocation. I don't think that's wise. I think you need to take market conditions into. So like when BTC breaks this, because I mean fuck, it was like every breakout like BTC I kind of did call. You know, I prove it, but I did it on stream. Like I got the 9K breakout, I got this one too. What if, right? I did chart it, but yeah, fuck it. But whatever. When you get this breakout here above this line, and then this happens, and then you pump up into here, like at this point here, alts are in trouble, like big trouble. The same way when this breaks out, alts are in trouble. So when BTC crosses key bullish levels, like you don't want your alt portfolio to be like what it would have been when BTC was going sideways for 2 months. Like as it starts to give you hints that it's going to break out, then you want to be starting to pull or at least set your stop losses. So when this move happens and alts dump, like you should be getting stopped out there on alts. And then your allocation or portfolio diversity is going to change when those stops hit. And when BTC is up here and alts are taking a beating and you're heavy in BTC, you want to start to push that BTC percentage into USD as well as alts. Audio seems to be on free fall. My audio? How is my sound, by the way? Am I getting any? I haven't seen any echo calls or anything like that. So I'm going to assume that it's good, but then this guy said audio is on free fall, and that kind of scared me. Let's look. I don't know. I don't know about this. This is a... I mean, typically you want to buy the dip on this one. I mean, if history is any sort of lesson, you do want to buy the dip on this, but there are some somewhat concerning things about where it is right now, so you probably want to be a little careful. Good. Some shitcoin audio. All right. What is this program you work with? I don't know what he means by that. What do you mean, this program? How long am I going? Thoughts on CRV? Stillman, who, if you don't know or you don't follow, you probably should. He's like one of the top altcoin analysts and crypto analysts in crypto, I would say. I would argue like he is the best and has been for a long time. But he says this is kind of like fundamentally very shitty. This is like built to dump. So looking at this reminds me of like MFT's chart. Like this can do this for a very long time. So I'm not too excited about this, to be honest. I don't know what it does, but I remember Stillman saying that this was like a scam kind of thing. And you know, they're just like printing coins to dump on you. So that plus the way the chart looks is not something I'll, you know, if it pumps, good, but I won't be in it. Audio is a coin. Audio. Oh, okay. Relatively new coin. Okay, so this is a level. This is a level you can play off, like for sure. But you want to have a stop on it. But basically, this is the move I was describing earlier. Oh, it's gonna break out. Oh, no, it's not. Fuck this coin, and then it takes off. So, you know, this like kind of, you could play around here, but you don't want to give it too much room, you know? You don't want to give it too much room. And see, look, now it's doing it on the hourly. So it's doing it on the daily, it's doing it on the hourly. For audio, and then this guy says it's free falling. That's a sentiment read right there for you. I would play this right here. Right here. I'd fucking play it. You know what? Okay. Yeah, this is playable. This is definitely playable. Hold on. What time is it? 48 minutes. All right. I think I've done enough. I had fun. It's Thanksgiving. It's time to get back to my family. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Hope I helped you out a bit. And yeah. If you missed the beginning, definitely check it out. We talked, you know, I kind of gave you a little bit of a sense on what to do and how to play this here. And hopefully you guys are okay. Ultimately, this is a bull market. You want to buy dips in a bull market, but, you know, at the same time, you don't want to go crazy. Sometimes it's not bad to buy something when it's going up first. Thoughts on Blue Zell? I don't know.